Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Candace Owens.
Wow. Hello. Can you guys hear me all the way in the back? Yes. I love you guys too. All right, I'm going to get right into this. So I said to my husband the other day that it's become apparent to me over these last few years that the left has no idea that the world did not begin in 1776. 3 years of traveling the country and facing off with hysterical liberals, and that is my scientific conclusion, that they haven't the slightest idea that anything exists or that anything ever existed outside of the United States of America. And let me give you a recent example. You will all recall when the left, which in my opinion has morphed into a doomsday cult, feverishly and inaccurately predicting that everything President Trump says or does will end America. But you all recall when they once again prophesized our doom when Iranian terrorist Soleimani was slain in a military operation. You remember that, right? This is the beginning of World War III, their headlines read. They promised us we were going to head straight into World War III. It was a remarkable day because it was the day that we watched Democrats and liberals, the ones who have been shrieking about sexism, misogyny, and the need for more feminism, turn into passionate defenders of the state of Iran, the country whose constitution quite literally states that a woman's life is worth half that of a man's, a country where women are punished by law for up to 10 years in prison if they are caught not wearing a veil, suddenly became the apple of the left's eye. Of course, the war never happened, but in the midst of their delirium, a tweet went out from resident anti-American Colin Kaepernick. And the tweet read, exactly, and I quote, "There is nothing new about American attacks against black and brown people for the expansion of American imperialism. America has always sanctioned and besieged black and brown bodies. American militarism is the weapon wielded by American imperialists to enforce its policing and plundering of the non-white world," end quote. Fascinating. A rant about black and brown bodies being imperialized, a word that I must assume Colin either doesn't know the definition or the history of, used in defense of Iran. And so, of course, you know me on Twitter. I felt it necessary to mention to Colin, gently, of course, you know me, I'm very nice on Twitter, to mention to Colin that that particular country of brown and black bodies used to be known as Persia. And rather unfortunately for his implied thesis regarding their perpetual victimhood at the hands of white people, Persia used to be an empire, quite literally an imperial dynasty for 200 years, almost as long as America has been alive. It was once the most powerful state in the world, imperializing regions from Egypt to India, regions of, you guessed it, black and brown people. And while I have to say that I was not shocked to learn that Colin Kaepernick has evidently never picked up a historical textbook, I will say that I was shocked that he hadn't at the very least seen the movie 300. A little movie where the black and brown bodies are looking to imperialize the white bodies in Greece. Maybe he thought it was all made up and fiction. Or maybe Colin Kaepernick isn't earning millions to tell the truth. Maybe he's being paid millions to convince black and brown bodies that they are oppressed, to keep them angry and confused and uneducated, which could explain why on Thanksgiving Day of last year, Colin tweeted, I quote, "The U.S. government has stolen over 1.5 billion acres of land from indigenous people. Thank you to my indigenous family. I am with you now and always," end quote. Holiday tweets are his favorite, by the way. On the 4th of July, he tweeted, what to the American slave is your 4th of July? Co-opting, by the way, a Frederick Douglass quote and stripping it of its original context, to convey the idea that blacks owe this country not a moment of celebration. I'm talking about Colin because the picture that he is painting is Casey Coates to CNN, to the New York Times, to MSNBC and their anchors, to every single one of you race hustlers who have extorted black pain to line your own pockets, who have blindfolded the black youth against seeing the opportunities that lay beneath their feet here in America, in the land of the free, in the home of the brave. I say this to you. There will be a Blexit, a black exit. You have seen how a man was made a slave. That sentence is the first half of a Frederick Douglass quote. I like it because it rings true now. I have seen how a man was made a slave. I have seen how black Americans have been enslaved to the debate of race, how liberals, how leftists, how Democrats continue to enchain us to this inconsequential debate while robbing us blindly of our family, our faith, and our future through their abhorrent policies. You have seen how a man was made a slave. Then he continues the quotation. And now you shall see how a slave was made a man. To the veterans, and so I say to the veterans of this black ideological civil war, those of us that have survived the constant onslaught and the media thrashings and fight daily to awaken our brothers and sisters, to the patriots who have fought beside us, cheered us on, to my supporters, those of you that have seen me to this point, from just a girl on YouTube with a different idea to the very soon-to-be published author of the aptly entitled book, Blackout, How Black America Will Make Its Second Escape from the Democrat Plantations. To all of you in this room, I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you for experiencing this journey with me, but most importantly, for seeing how this former slave to poisonous liberal ideology was made a woman, was made a patriot, was made an American. May God bless you all.